Or enough.
All right, we are here with Kelly and Rick. We are leaving last names out of this equation today because this is a very interesting story, but there are some touchy points to it. Ancestry.com is a service that helps you understand your genealogy. A family tree can take you back generations. Ancestry hosts I got to stop drinking for the Christmas stuff. Ancestry hosts the world's most extensive collection of online records, making it possible to learn about your family history. Kelly Smith's daughter, am I correct on that one, Kelly? She reached out, she did a full ancestry thing, and here we are. So this is Kelly and this is Rick, and there are a few other siblings in the mix. We have Jill, Rick, Kelly, John, and Jake. These names have been changed for privacy purposes. The most interesting day for me was this morning when Kelly reached out and said, I found some of my siblings. And Kelly and Rick, I would love to welcome you to the West Island blog where you can share this wonderful story with us. Kelly, you want to start us out on how this happened?
So do you want me to go way back 2 years ago, or do you want me to start with Rick?
Sum it up. Sum up the 2 years ago, how we got here, like a little bit.
So basically how we got here is that 2 years ago, my daughter for her birthday said she wanted to do her DNA ancestry. And I was like, yeah, sure. So we did it. We got the results back. I knew that I had already had a half brother. So he had also done the DNA ancestry. That showed up. I looked at it and I said, yeah, okay. And then I saw that there was another name under my half brother. And I just didn't really pay any attention. I was like, well, that's interesting. Okay. And next. And it was only after maybe about 4 or 5 months later when a friend of mine discovered through DNA ancestry that she has a half brother. When I looked at her results, I thought, oh, maybe I should go back and look at my daughter's paper again, which I did, only to find out that I have a half sister, and my half sister lives 10 minutes from me.
No kidding.
Yeah, she lives 10 minutes from me. And her daughter happened to be friends with my husband's cousin, and they were Facebook friends. And so that was just really weird. And so we met and developed a relationship. And she was adopted when she was born. And
she's 58. She's 58.
Yes, she's 58. And it was her daughter who actually, for Mother's Day, did the DNA ancestry for her mom. Like, let's see what we could find out, not thinking that we would find any of this at all.
To clarify, if you want to be found or are looking for people, you need to be participating in ancestry. You can't just randomly. You have to have done this. You have done this to find.
You have to do it, and then you have to make it public. You can do it and not make your results public, or you can make it public. And we chose to make it public to anyone else who had done it, so that we could see. We were not thinking that we would find a half sister,
or four half siblings.
Yeah, exactly. And so, just to confirm, I did the DNA ancestry, and it was confirmed. Yeah, we're all related. And my half sister at the time said, I think there's more out there. And I said, no way. There's no, absolutely impossible. Never going to happen. And then about a month and a half ago, I get a message or a call from her. And she tells me, guess what? Someone got in touch with me through Ancestry, and it looks like we're related. And I thought, that's great. So you probably found a sibling from your mom's side, because we are related through my dad. And she said, well, I think this person is also related to you, because she was able to look on my Ancestry DNA and saw that I'm related to this person. And I was
you hadn't looked at that carefully?
No, I hadn't looked at it in 2 years.
Okay.
So Rick, do you want to explain how you ended up on the DNA ancestry?
Sure. What happened? My kids and my wife had got me the ancestry kit for Father's Day. And me being typical male, put it off. Finally decided to do it. I received my results back probably 2.5 months later. I got looking. I got them back on a Friday night. I got looking. I seen that Jill and I were a 100% match, so I messaged Jill. In the meantime, sometimes through the night, Kelly had messaged me. This was on a Saturday morning. I had to work Saturday, so anyway, long story short, I come home Saturday after work, and we chit chatted on Ancestry for must have been a good hour and a half, at least, wasn't it, Kelly?
Mhm.
And then we had a 3-way phone call, and that was just totally amazing. And I'm still in shock and awe.
So
Anybody out there that
let me
hasn't done this,
clarify.
I suggest you do it because it is the most amazing feeling in the world.
Let me see if I can clarify this for the listening audience. We've got
Okay.
Jill, who's 58. We've got Rick, you're 58. Kelly's
Yeah.
48. Now, Jill and Rick were born of two different mothers prior to Kelly's family. So Kelly, whatever year Kelly was born, 48. Kelly's 48, and her brother John is 46, of the same parents.
Yes.
Who later got divorced, and Jake was born, and he is currently 19 years old. So we've got several, like 10-year spans here. So Jill and Rick were from prior to Kelly and John's marriage, let's say, that family unit, and then Jake comes later. So Rick, did it freak you out to find out you had 4 other brothers and sisters?
It was overwhelming. I don't know if I'd necessarily say freak me out. I knew there were others out there, but myself, I've been looking for over 40 years.
You were
for my birth
adopted.
family.
You were
Yes,
adopted.
I'm adopted. So I've been looking for over 40 years for my birth family. And within 72 hours, it's like, holy shit,
I got
I
every,
get siblings. It's like, bang, just knocked me back. And I'm just, to this day, I'm still overwhelmed and still can't believe it's real.
and
It's the
Jill,
most amazing feeling.
was
I mean,
Jill
anybody that's
adopted
ever done-
also? Was Jill adopted also?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we move on to
Yeah.
Kelly and John, who had it, and then Jake. So Rick, you obviously recommend this.
Oh, 100%. People out there, if you haven't done this, do it. If you have any questions, the answers are out there. Do it. You never know. Maybe I find somebody on my mother's side of some of you guys out there do this.
Okay, so we've got that DNA thing going on, and neither one of you is concerned about having your DNA public like this. That would concern me.
Well, it's not, it's public only to anyone who's doing the DNA ancestry, and my name isn't public, like it's just a username, and it will say how we are linked, like the strength of the link, and
Yeah.
then I can be emailed, but they can email me through Ancestry, but no private information is given. Like they can't have my actual email, my name, where I live. Like Rick and I don't even live in the same province.
No.
You know.
And
So yeah, so
here the siblings do.
So there are 3 of us that live in the same province, and then the other 2, one's in the United States, and the other one is in another province in Canada.
Okay.
That being Rick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 Americans and 3 Canadians.
Yes. And I have to say, I really was still in denial, even though when I looked at the results for Rick, I said, there's just this, like, there's just no way. This cannot be happening. It cannot be happening. And even before I spoke to him, I got his name. I went on to Facebook and I knew right away because he looks exactly like our father.
No kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never had the chance to meet your father?
No.
Okay. And do you see your resemblance in the pictures that Kelly, I'm sure, has showed you?
Oh, it's like looking into a mirror.
No kidding.
Honest to God. There's one picture in particular that if I was 20 years younger, you put us side by side, you'd swear we were twins.
Age for age, you're twins.
Yeah.
And Kelly, how does that make you feel to be looking at your dad in your brother's face?
Hi, daughter.
So I'll be honest, when it first happened with my half sister, it was hard just because it sort of changed how I thought my life was. Just everything that I knew, even though I knew how my father was outside of our relationship, it kind of, it was hard, and that was, now everything's good. And I think with Rick, the first time we spoke, I started to cry because even though I couldn't see him, he sounded like my dad and looked like my dad. So it was really hard. That was really, really hard. It's good now, but it was really, really hard. I have
And
to
this is
say.
about 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
That's
Roughly, yeah.
amazing. It's truly amazing. Like I'm sitting here, like my head is blown off my body. Like I just find it
And
unbelievably interesting that this can even take place. And now Kelly and John, your brother with the fictitious name that we're using, Kelly, were both of you surprised to learn that you had other siblings, or were you expecting it?
I never expected it. Never, ever, never, 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 ever, ever, ever. And if anything, I thought maybe younger than me, but I never, no. Mm-mm.
And
And
you
then
didn't-
after my, sorry.
There's one that's younger than you. You didn't know about him? That was after your parents divorced anyway.
I did know, yes, I did know about him. I do
Okay.
know about him. I did know about him. We have a relationship. Yeah.
He's 19 and you're 48. There's a different age difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And he also didn't really know our father, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because by the time he was just maybe over 4 or 5, my father, we had to have him placed in a home for early Alzheimer's. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So moving forward, Jill and Rick, did we have a full family? I mean, we can't do anything in COVID. Is the next year's Christmas plans different than this year's? Are we doing a full family Christmas or what?
I don't know. I really don't know on that because I've got a bunch of family here, and I don't know how we'd ever be able to get the logistics worked out to have everybody get together.
Okay. So we haven't done that yet. You haven't gotten together with Jill either?
Not yet, no. We're waiting for the COVID to clear up and hopefully we're hoping for the summer to have a nice little family reunion that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll work. Summer, we
Yep.
should go do something outside, so that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we've talked about.
Yeah.
All right. What a fantastic feel-good story. And you guys are happy to have found each other in this COVID nightmare.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably the greatest thing that's happened to me in my life.
What did you say,
Yeah.
Rick?
It's probably the greatest thing that's happened to me in my life besides having my kids and my granddaughter.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And this is the feel-good story that we needed. I want to thank you both for coming onto the West Island blog today and sharing your beautiful, beautiful story.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speak to you soon. And I'm hoping I get to be part of that family reunion. I'd like to take some shots. Send me some.
Well, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Okay.
All right.
Good
Have
with
a
it.
great rest of the year and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.